Hello and welcome to Education Express, my dear friends. Today we are doing chapter number 8 from Selena publication book. Chapter is on logarithm. My dear friends, before we proceed to do a chapter on logarithm, we must know one thing very clearly, that logarithm is not a number, it is a function. How exactly this function is different from other function? Have a look at it. For example, if I have a number 9, alright, and this we know is a square root function. So when this number 9 comes within the domain of the function square root function, we all know the resulting answer would be 3. Exactly the same way if you go to C. If I have a square root and if we have a number called 25, now when this 25 will come in contact with this function or within the domain of this function, how it is going to behave? Sir, it will be root of 25, which is equal to 5. In short, this square root sign, this square root is a function. It is a function. It is not a number. It is a function. So any number that comes in contact with this function has to behave within the rules of the function. Same is logarithm. Now, for doing all the complicated calculations, we have a function called logarithm. Slowly and gradually, you will understand each and every aspect of logarithm. Before we proceed to a chapter, one must know the rules of all the chapters. It is quite advisable that you focus on the rules of the chapter. Once you know the rules, there are 6 rules, and if you are a champion at the rules, you will be able to do this chapter very easily because it is very monotonous. It does not have variety. In fact, it is absolutely mechanical in nature, provided you know how to apply the rule and how to understand the rule. So it all depends upon how well you take, focus, concentrate on the rules. Have a look over here. Now, when I say log of this, how it can be read as? It will be read as log of A to the base B is x. That means log of A to the base B is equal to x. Remember, for logarithm, we must have a base. Without base, logarithm cannot be defined. So it have to have a base. In the absence of any base, base by default is assumed to be 10. For example, if I tell you log of x to the base y equals to a, this is read as log of x to the base y is, supposing for example, if I tell you log of 9 to the base 7, in this, what is the base? Sir, base is 7. So similarly, we can take few more examples. Supposing, let us say, when I say log of 8 to the base 2 equals to a, this is read as log of 8 to the base 2. Now, as you know, that we can easily recognize the base. Log of 4 to the base 10. This is read as log of 4 to the base 10. What about this? Log of 9. Sir, this will be log of 9 to the base 10. Why? Sir, when no base is given to us, by default, base will always be taken as 10. Absolutely right. So if you want to know the perfect notification of logarithm, log of a to the base b equals to x. So one must know how to read this. Log of a to the base b. Log of a to the base b is. So my dear friends, it's very important that we understand the rules of the game. Now let me introduce to you the first rule of the game. Log of a plus log of b can be written as log of ab. That means a multiplied by b. So what about the base? Since base is not given to us, base will always be regarded as 10. That means log of a is same as log of a to the base 10. Though base is not visible over here, by default base will always be taken as 10. So whether you write log of a or you write log of a to the base 10, they are one and the same. So when I have log of a plus log of b equals to log ab, what are the examples? Examples would be log of 5 plus log of 7 can be written as log of 5 into 7, that is 35. Log of x plus log of y can be written as log of xy. Absolutely right. Log of 9 plus log of 7 can be written as log of 9 into 7, that would be log of 63. So we are quite familiar with the property. The first property that we discussed just now was log of a plus log of b equals to log of ab. This is the first property of logarithm. Now what are the examples, illustrations? These are the examples. Supposing, sir, we have log of 8 plus log of 9 plus log of 10. Now what do we do? So in this case it will be log of 8 because it is plus, so multiply. 9 because it is plus, so multiply. In other words, log of a plus log of b plus log of c can be written as log of course, a, b, c. In the same way, log of 8 plus log of 9 plus log of 10 can be written as log of 8 into 9, 72 into 10, that is log of 720. My dear friends, this is the first property of logarithm. It's a very, very important property. Almost all the properties are same, simple, easy. But when it comes to application part, most of the students memorize the property, but then they compromise on the application part. What we must focus, how we are using the property. There has to be a plus sign in between. This plus log a plus log b, log a plus log b, only then it will result in log ab. Log ab means product of these two, provided the base has to be same. Since I know that there is no base over here, so by default it is 10, by default it is 10, only then the property can happen. For example, if I have log a to the base 7 plus log b to the base 8, this cannot happen as log ab. It will be wrong to say so. It will be incorrect. It is wrong. So base has to be the same. Here the base are not same. So this property would definitely be wrong. In short, what we have? Log of a plus log of b equals to log ab. So where is the base? Base is assumed to be 10. Base is assumed to be 10. The resulting base will also be 10. So what is the next property? Alright. So our second property would be property number 2. Log of a. Since we did plus over here, now we are doing minus. Log of b equals to log of a upon b. In short, log of x minus log of y can be written as log of x upon y. Take one more example. Log of 70 minus log of 8 can be written as log of 70 upon 8. So can we reduce it to its smaller form? Of course, yes. That would mean log of 35 upon 4. So what if I have log of 80 minus log of 5? In that case, it would be log of 80 upon 5. Log of a minus log of b will be log of a upon b. That means it will give me log of 16. Yes, my dear friends, log of a plus log of b equals to log ab. And log a minus log b will certainly give you log of a upon b. Both are very, very simple. These are the simple illustrations in case if someone has a doubt. Sir, what about this? Log of 20 minus log of 30 minus log of 40. What are we going to do? It's very simple one. Let us say first we will solve this two. So what will happen? Sir, log of a minus log of b would be log of a upon b minus log of 40. 0, 0 cancels. Log of a minus log of b. So you are applying the property, so I am sure you will modify as per the rules given to us. We have a rule for log of a minus log of b. So I am applying log of a minus log of b. Log of a upon b. That results in 2 upon 3 minus log 40. Again apply the same rule. Log of a minus log of b will give you log of a divided by b. How to do this? Very simple. Log of this 3 will come down. So 2 upon 120. That will give you log of 1 upon 60. Log of a minus log of b minus log of c. So, supposing let us say if we get a combination of log of a plus b minus c and all those kind of stuff, how we are going to deal with it? Alright, I'll help you with that. But I hope whatever we have discussed so far, the two properties of logarithm. If someone asks you what is logarithm? Logarithm is a function. So we must know the properties of these functions. Once the number will come in collaboration with logarithm functions, then the number has to behave within the domain of the functions. The properties of the logarithm are as under. Log of a plus log of b can be written as log of ab. Log of a minus log of b would be log of a upon b. One must understand that logarithm cannot be defined without its base. So base has to be there to define a logarithm. That means in case if base is not given to us, it is always presumed that the base is 10. So let us take an example where there is a combination. Log of 18 plus log of 2 minus log of 9. What do we do? Sir, log of a plus log of b. So log of a plus b is ab. Alright, perfect. So log a plus log b equals to log ab. Minus log of 9. That means this will become log of 36 minus log of 9. So now we can apply log a minus log b, of course. That would be 36 upon 9. That would be log of 4. See, by applying the property, we are getting the result. Now alternatively, the same sum can be done this way also. Log of a plus b. So log a plus log b equals to log a into b. This is minus. So upon. How much? Log of 9. So 9. That means log of 9 1s are 9 2s are 2 2s are 4, log 4. Supposing if I have log of 80 plus log of 5 minus log of 100. How do I go about? Sir, you can simply do log of 80. Because it is plus, so you multiply. Because it is minus, so you divide. Why? Log A plus log B, log AB. And then minus log C, so that will go as a denominator. The simplest and the fastest way of doing it. How do you get it? So 400 upon 100. That will give me how much? Log 4. One more example. Log X plus log Y minus log 7. So this would be log X plus, so multiply, Y minus, so divide. So that means what do you get? Sir, I get log xy upon 7. One more example. Supposing if you have log of 7 minus log of 8 plus log of 10. There are two ways in which this can be done. Start log. So basically 7. It's given minus. So upon 8 plus. Plus means multiplication. That will give you log of 7 into 10, 70 upon 8. That will give you log of 35 upon 4. I know few people might be having a question. What you could have done is, you could have taken this first two addition only. That means log of 7 plus log of 10 minus log of 8. Even in this case, your answer is going to remain the same. Log A plus, that means multiplication, minus, that means division. Even in this case, my dear friends, your answer is going to be the same, log 35 upon 4. Whichever way you do, as long as you abide by yourself, by the properties of logarithm, you are bound to get the correct answer. As long as you follow the properties, so long as you actually apply the property rightfully, there is a high probability that you will never go wrong. Let us take few more properties now from here on. So the first property was log A plus log B equals to log A into B, or you can call it log A. Alright. Someone asked me, sir, log 3 multiplied by log 8 would be how much? My answer is A into B equals to AB. So log 3 multiplied by log 8 would be log 3 multiplied by log 8 only. That means in between I am putting a dot. Dot means multiplication. 3 into 4. Dot means multiplication. And in case if you don't want to use dot, what you can do is, you can write log of 3 and log of 8. We don't have any operation for log A multiplied by log B. There is no operation. It would remain log A and log B only. The operation is for log A plus log B, not log A into log B. Operation is for plus. Remember, my dear friend, the operation is for plus. So log A plus log B can be written as log of AB, or log of AB can be broken into log of A plus log of B. Supposing, for example, if I have log of 7xy, this can be written as log of 7 plus log of x plus log of y. Absolutely right. Why, sir? Because when you will do the property, apply the first property on this particular operation, what do you get? So log of A plus log of B plus log of C can be written as log of A into B into C. So again you will get back your log of 7xy. So my dear friend, you should be cautious of this. They all look similar. So people will be tempted to make mistake, but there is a difference. This is a multiplication sign, whereas we have an operation for only plus sign. So remember that multiplication sign, there is no operation. It is only for the plus sign that we have an operation. So log of A plus log of B is log AB. Same way, log of A minus log of B can be written as log of A upon B. Log of A upon B. Whereas log of A divided by log of B will result in nothing but log of A upon log of B, and not this. And remember, my dear friend, they both are not same. Log of A upon B is not equal, is never equal to log of A upon log of B. Remember, my dear friends, this is not equal, so don't make mistake. When we have log of A minus log of B, only then we proceed with this result. That means there has to be a log of A minus log of B. Minus sign has to be there. Then only we can say log of A upon B. If you have log of A divided by log of B, you cannot write log A upon B. This would mean log A divided by log B. So, I am sure this will really remove a kind of misconception that would have otherwise gone into your head. Clearly, the definition says log of A plus log of. We begin with the third property of logarithm. A third property says log of A to the base A. These both things should be same. The result would be 1. That means log of 9 to the base 9. Result would be 1. Log of M to the base M. Result would be 1. Log of 5 to the base 5. Result would be 1. Log of 10 to the base 10. Result would be 1. My dear friend, how do we read this? So log of A to the base A. Answer is 1. Log of 9 to the base 9. 1. Log of M to the base M. 1. Log of 5 to the base 5. 1. Log of 10 to the base 10. 1. Can anyone tell me what would be the answer to this question? Log of 10 would be how much? The answer is, so log of 10 will also be 1. Because if nothing is given to you as a base, by default, base is always taken as 10. So log of 10 to the base 10 is 1. Log of x to the base x is 1. Log of p to the base p is 1. Log of, let us say, root 2 to the base root 2, again it's going to be 1. So my dear friend, our third property, property number 1, log of A plus log of B equals to log AB. Second property, log of A minus log B equals to log A upon B. Property number 3, log of A to the base A is going to be 1. Let us move on to the next property, property number 4. Now, what is property number 4? So it says property number 4. Log of m raised to n. Log of m raised to n can be written as n log m. In the sense, if I have log of 7 square, it can be written as, this is log. In place of m we have 7. In place of n we have 2. Equal to. It can be written as 2 log 7. So supposing if I have log of 8 raised to 9, what can I write this for? You can write 9 log 8. This dot means multiplication. So if you have log of x raised to b, this can be written as b into log of x. So supposing if I have log of 4 raised to 1 upon 3. Now, so you can write this as 1 upon 3 into log of 4. So suppose I have log of x raised to minus 7. In this case, you can write minus 7 into log of x. So property is very clear. Property is log of m raised to n. Log of m raised to n. So what about the base? Since base is not given to us, it will be assumed as 10. Even if base would be given to us, let us say log of 8 to the base 3, log of 8 to the base 3. Now suppose if something is given to you over here, let us say 9. So this can be written as 9 into log of 8 to the base 3. You don't have to do anything to the base. Base always remains as it is. We don't have to touch the base. There is no adjustment of base anywhere. What you need to adjust is this power. You need to adjust the power. The power will come down. So in case if you have log of x cube, this can be written as 3 into log of x. So my dear friends, in the list of our formulas, we are through how many formulas? 4 formulas. Log of n raised to n. So log of n raised to n equals to n log n. Log of a plus log of b equals to log ab. Log of a minus log b equals to log of a upon b. Log a to the base a would be 1. And log of m raised to n can be written as n log m. Now, in case if you are through all these formulas, we have now only 2 more formulas left. With those 2 formulas, I am sure the entire formulas of logarithm are done with. You will not have any problem in case if you practice these formulas with the illustrations that I had given to you. Illustrations will help you to make the foundation, to make the base for you to understand this new chapter, new ruling, because logarithm is introduced only in standard 9. It's not going to be there even in standard 10. But then thereafter, for standard 11th or 12th or so on, logarithm chapter would be there in order to make the complex calculations easy. Now how the complex calculations will become easy, that I will explain to you a little later. But I hope you guys are understanding the properties of logarithm. So now what would be the next property? So now 5th property would be very interesting. That is log of 10 is 1. Same way log of 100 would be 2. Log of 1000 would be 3. Log of 10,000 would be 4. Now you may have a question, sir, why it is like this? So when I say log of 10, so base is always assumed to be 10. So log of 10 to the base 10 is 1. Okay sir, I understood. This is quite understandable. So I can accept this as a property. Okay, log of 10 is going to be 1. But sir, then why log of 100 is 2? So my explanation. Log of 100 can be written as log of, this 100 can be written as 10 square. Sir, absolutely right. That means if you refer property number 4, log of 10 raised to 2 can be written as 2 into log of 10. That means 2 multiplied by. And since you believe that log 10 is nothing but 1, because if nothing is given, base will always be 10. So 2 into 1, that is going to be 2. So log of 100 is 2. Not only that, supposing if you want log of 1000, what to do? Sir, log of 1000 can be written as log 10 raised to 3, which means 3 times log of 10. Now since we know that 3 multiplied by log 10, we have already proved that log 10 is 1, or log 10, the base is not given, so base is always assumed to be 10. So base is 10. So that would be 3 into 1, that is 3. Now supposing if log 10,000, so same way sir, this is going to be log 10 raised to 4, which means 4 into log of 10, that means 4 into, as we know log 10 is 1, so 4. So my dear friends, log 10, log 100, log 1000, log 10,000, so on and so forth. Most importantly, log 10 is 1. So we are done with 5 properties, but we are left with one property, and that one property is, you can say, the mother of entire logarithms property. It is so important that more than 70% of the problems of logarithm would be done only by that property. One need to concentrate, one need to focus what exactly or how that property is transpired. I would request you to pay attention to the new and the last property, perhaps the most important. So now let us do that last property of logarithm, which is perhaps the most important property of logarithm. Have a look. See, when I say log a to the base b equals to x, then, so if log a to the base b is equals to x, then we can also say that b raised to x equals to a. It means if log of x to the base y equals to p, then y raised to p is nothing but x. This is called logarithm form, and this is called exponential form. So my dear friend, if logarithm form is given, we can convert into exponential form. For example, log of 1000 to the base 10 is 3. It means if log of 1000 to the base 10 equals to 3, then 10 raised to 3 can be written as 1000. So in case if you get log of p to the base q equals to m, it means q raised to m can be written as p. This is logarithm form, this is exponential form. We must be acquainted by converting from exponential to logarithm or logarithm to exponential. What I have shown you is from logarithm to exponential. I will show you the other way around also. In case if exponential form is given, how can you introduce logarithm form? But as of now, log of a to the base b equals to x, then b raised to x can be written as a, y raised to p can be written as x, 10 raised to 3 can be written as 1000, q raised to m can be written as So my dear friends, it is very clear how to convert the logarithm form to exponential form. So any logarithm form can be converted into exponential form based on the following parameters, as we know very clearly. So if I have log of 2 to the base x equals to y, if log of 2 to the base x equals to y, then I can write this as x raised to y equals to 2. Now supposing, let us say it's given to you that 7 square equals to 49. This is in exponential form. Can we convert in logarithm form? Of course, sir. Log of 49 to the base 7 will be equal to 2. So what is there as a power will always go next to equal to sign. Now let us say 11 cube equals to 1331. Can you convert this exponential form into the logarithm form? Yes, sir. How? Sir, log of 1331 to the base 11 can be written as 3. Absolutely fabulous. Supposing if you have 5 raised to 4, that is equal to 3125. 5 raised to 4 is 625. 625. 5 5s are 25, 25 25s are 625. If I want to convert this exponent into a logarithm form, of course, sir, log of 625 to the base 5 can be written as 4. So now, in any circumstances, whether a question is given to us in exponential form or it is given to us in logarithm form, we can convert it into another form. If exponential is given, we can convert in logarithm form. If logarithm is given, we can convert in exponential form. Now the first part of the exercise A comprise of this. Let us have a look into those questions, whether we will be able to solve those questions. And before we move on to that, let us add to our formula sheet one more formula, which is if log of A to the base B equals to x, then B raised to x can be written as A. This is a very, very interesting and important formula. Let us see if we try and solve the questions from the exercise Selena publication 8th chapter 8.1 page number 103. So are we able to solve those questions or no? Have a look. So it is 8a page number 103. Express each of the following in the logarithm form. 5 cube equals to 125. This is exponential form. I want to convert in logarithm form. Sir, log of 125 to the base 5 equals to 3. Done. As I told you, this is a very interesting and a very, very important formula. One must understand. Then the next one. What it says? It says 3 raised to minus 2 is equals to 1 upon 9. I only have to convert in the logarithm form. Log of 1 upon 9 to the base 3 equals to minus 2. This is my answer. Very simple. Log of A to the base B equals to x, then B raised to x equals to A. So if I want to convert the exponents, I can say log of A to the base B. Log of A to the base B equals to x. Log of A to the base B equals to x. Same way, log of 125 to the base 5 is 3. Log of 125 to the base 5 is 3. Log of 1 upon 9 to the base 3 equals to minus 2. See the third part. What it says, this is we are doing 8a exercise question number 1. Now it says 10 raised to minus 3. 10 raised to minus 3 equals to 0.001. This is the question. So we have to convert in the logarithm form. So it would be log of 0.001 to the base 10 equals to minus 3. What about the fourth part? So the fourth part is 81 raised to 3 upon 4 equals to 27. So this can be written as log of 27 to the base 81 equals to 3 upon 4. So my dear friends, as I have told you, the topic is very simple, monotonous, easy. You guys are going to enjoy it. Let us see the second question of the same exercise. Now when I try and do second question of the same exercise, the second question is asking us to convert the given form into exponential form. That means they have given to us express each of the following in the exponential form. The first one being, this is question number 2. The first one being log of 0.125 to the base 8 equals to minus 1. Now this is what is given to us. As you know, log of A to the base B equals to x. Simple way, B raised to x. So 8 raised to minus 1 equals to 0.125. This is the first part of it. I'm sure you guys are enjoying it and it's very simple as well. What about the second part? Let us see the second part. Log of 0.01 to the base 10 equals to minus 2. Again the same way. Sir, as we read B raised to x, so 10 raised to minus 2 equals to 0.01. What about the third one? Let us see the third one. It says log of A, log of capital A to the base small a equals to x. This means A raised to x equals to capital A. This is exponential form. Exponential form is free from logarithm. And the last one, log of 1 to the base 10 The question is log of 1 to the base 10 is 0. Now what do we do about this? Sir, same way. 10 raised to 0 equals to 1. So my dear friends, we are quite confident if we know this formulas very well, properties of logarithm, I am pretty sure that you will be able to get almost all the answers swiftly and quickly. I'm sure you will write these formulas at least 20 times to memorize them and also go through all the illustrations that has been done in order to analyze them. Once these formulas are fixed into your memory, your analyzing skill will become quite sharp, simple and easy. There is no need for us to memorize any particular sum. Once you know how to apply the properties of logarithm, the chapter is going to be very simple. Spend and invest your time in understanding the rules. That is surely going to help you out to solve all the questions. The remaining questions of A exercise as well as the B one would be done in the second part. Until then, I'll take your leave. Thank you so much for being with me. Do subscribe to our channel Education Express and do leave your comment to make us understand how helpful our lectures are going to be for you and what exactly you expect from us. Your feedback will help us to help you in future. Thank you so much.